right, sack Serrated Scorpion. Sack it again. Down to 2. Take action this time. And there we go. Okay, so we got him. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and I got a super spicy one for you guys today, a super fun one. So I recognize that we have a lot of these, this type of effect here. Bastion of Remembrance, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. We have a lot of that type of effect in Standard right now, and so I went ahead and tried to build a deck initially of just like 4 copies of Vindictive Vampire, 4 copies of Teysa, Sir Conrad, Bastion Remembrance, Cruel Celebrant, all of these different effects that we have with it that was just like, that would be really fun. It turned out needing that we have to have 1-drops in this deck as well, and like this is really even not that great as is with this, but if we get to survive till turn 3 and get at least a couple of these finishers down onto the battlefield, so some of the enablers of this deck goes off. And it is busted. It's pretty sweet, actually. So this is the deck that I came up with to kind of have a lot of just different synergies in here. Luminous Broodmoth works well with our deck because it gets to bring back all of our creatures again. If we have a Cruel Celebrant, we can sack a Cruel Celebrant to a Woe Strider, have it come back, sack it again, and that way we're not losing like Cruel Celebrants and all these things because we are running so many copies of the same type of card. Sometimes we do end up having a lot of those creatures, and it's hard to really get rid of these enablers, the combo-y type of effects. But with this deck, it's so fun. So Teysa Karlov, card I've not really seen play in quite a while, and so I really like that this deck is really shining with it. 2 copies is all I could really squeeze in here because I'm trying to put in like Nightmare Shepherd as well, everything like that. Anyway, so the idea of the deck I've kind of given to you guys, and so what I'm trying to do with my stuff now is I like to give just my quick idea of my deck really quickly, and then when I actually break down the reasons everything going into the deck. So yeah, the basic idea is just try to fit as many of this ability as possible into a deck that still can run and function decently, and of course it's probably better to be running a little bit even more in the early game, that kind of stuff, but I did want to make it a focus on trying to have a lot of Vindictive Vampires. Sir Conrad, which has a similar type of effect, except it's whenever any creature dies, so if their stuff dies as well, we also get to deal 1 point of damage. We can pay 2 to deal a little bit more damage as well. Like, we have a lot of damage dealing in this deck. It's pretty sweet, or make them lose life, whatever. But I also wanted to have all of the fun pieces into this deck, but then also make sure that I have some good fun stuff at the beginning. So this is what I ended up with. Hunted Witness works perfectly for this, where if we do have Luminous Broodmoth or anything like that out there, it's really nice because we get to create the token and bring it back as a 1/1. Same thing with Teysa Karlov. Teysa Karlov's ability will let us create 2 tokens with this, so if ever it dies. So it does have a lot of value, as well as just being 2 creatures that we can sack to Woe Strider or have die and come back. A really good blocker for mono red aggro type stuff, especially because it brings back a lifelinker, which is huge. Actually, it's pretty big there. And so it's just really nice to have something that can die multiple times while Cruel Celebrants and things like that are on the battlefield. Serrated Scorpion, love this card. I mean, the fact that it deals 2 damage and gains you 2 life is just sweet. It's just the perfect 1-drop for this type of deck. I love that they've printed this card. I think it's really powerful. The 2 life gain is pretty legitimate. The stat line of 1/2 blocks a lot of things, that are just 1/1s as well. Fervent Champion, whatever not. And so you can slow down the game against mono red aggro, which is perfect because we only have 12 1 and 2 drops. Everything else is up on the top end there, so there are some issues with that at times, but we also have really powerful, really strong, good at slowing the game down 1s and 2 drops with Hunted Witness, Serrated Scorpion. Cruel Celebrant, we are playing out pretty consistently on turn 2 if we have it. I know sometimes it's better to be holding this back or whatever because you want to just fill your board with more stuff, which we can do as well. We do have a few tap lands here, so if we have a good turn 1 play, we'll play that out and then play a tap land, Temple of Silence. I have 1 Idatha Triumph into the deck as well, because occasionally being able to cycle is nice. It does have the black and white in there as well. I wanted to test it out to kind of see how it does. 3 Philip Passages, otherwise basic lands. Castle Ardenvale works great in this deck as well for the human tokens and Castle of Okay, that's the lands real quick. All right, 2 or 3 drop slot, Midnight Reaper. I mean, it's probably the only thing that deals damage to us instead of everything else, and this will do a lot of damage to us, but the card draw is just phenomenal. You have to have the card draw in here. So Midnight Reaper, basically an enabler for this deck to make it actually work to where we can get multiple things down, because even if we are, let's say, drawing, what your typical 14 cards throughout a game before it's over, if you don't have any card draw, we're not going to hit as many of these effects as I'd like. I want to get like 3 or 4 of them down on the battlefield. And once we do, it's really hard to lose at that point, as long as we have like some way to swing in or whatever, as long as they don't like exile the board. There is a extinction event, which is an issue, but overall it's really good. Anyway, Midnight Reaper, really awesome. The only downside of it is that occasionally we're going to have, you know, only this on the battlefield. We don't have really a way of gaining life, and it's just going to deal extra damage to us. Those hands occasionally happen, but for the most part, it's just a really good enabler for the deck. You guys have seen it a lot. Woe Strider, awesome here. It's a good sack outlet, creates a goat, which is sweet for us as well. Being able to escape is really nice because we are sending a lot of things to the graveyard with this deck as well. And we have like things like Midnight Reaper, Nightmare Shepherd, which will exile some things, but we still can't escape, bring it back, and it's just a really powerful card. Bastion of Remembrance, also, I mean, it's just the reason we're playing this. It creates a token for you as it comes out, and it has the effect. And the greatest thing about this is that the effect doesn't die to extinction event. You know, it doesn't go away from a board wipe. It stays on the battlefield, and we can actually build this up. And even if we had our board wipe go away, and all of a sudden we, you know, 3 things die, we gain 6 life, we deal 60 points of damage. Typically in Aristocrat style decks, that's where the game ends, is if they can get you to where like you don't do enough damage with your, you know, the board that you built and everything like that, and they can kind of take over the game without you being able to rebuild that effect. It's really hard. Bastion of Remembrance really helps us out because you're able to keep that effect on the battlefield, which is huge. It's sweet and really fun. And so being able to have this as an enchantment form is big. The biggest issue, of course, is like Casualties of War, things like that. There's a lot of good cards out there still. I mean, that's fine. That's going to happen. Good things are going to be played on both sides of the board. We're here to play really fun stuff. Luminous Broodmoth, amazing to be able to bring back a lot of our creatures, be able to have it come back multiple times, which is sweet. 2 copies of this is definitely worth having. I'm trying to keep it to 2 copies here as well because it is a mythic. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to have as many copies of this. If you really want to build this deck really cheaply, the great thing about this too is that most of the cards, like the only 2 cards I feel like you really need to have in here are like Woe Strider for sure. Even Midnight Reaper, you can find other ways to draw cards to make this deck work, or you know, other things that might work in that slot as well. But like Sir Conrad, common or uncommon, you know, Vindictive Vampire, uncommon. Everything else is uncommon, and all these other like filler cards, you don't have to have the wild cards to really build this, and it can do pretty well. Luminous Broodmoth, if you do have them, it's great. If you're willing to get 1 or 2 copies, that's perfect. I don't think it needs much more than that. Nightmare Shepherd is kind of like the 3rd copy of it. I initially had like 5 copies. I had 4 Broodmoths and then this, and I was just thinking that I wanted more Teysa Karlov type of ability, because there are times that you can just slam Teysa Karlov kind of in the same way as you can slam Luminous Broodmoth and kind of have multiple triggers at once. But Teysa also works with all of the tokens that die, and it gives the tokens vigilance and lifelink, which is pretty sweet, especially with like our Nightmare Shepherd occasionally bringing back some things that are in the air, whatever else. You know, it's good. I like this one. So yeah, overall these are sweet. Vindictive Vampire, it does the same effect as Cruel Celebrant, except it's a 2/3 and it's 4 mana. Typically not played very much, and in fact I think a lot of people kind of forgot that it existed, because I mean, it's really expensive for an effect that's not really great. And we're seeing a lot of really cheap, better versions of this, and so yeah, it's not the amazing piece here, but the fact that it's more pieces of that combo makes it more powerful because of the deck being built around it, and it's fun. Sir Conrad, probably like my favorite card of all time. I love Sir Conrad. I mean, I know I'm cheating on Krenko a little bit here by saying that, but I like the K's, you know. Sir Conrad, yeah, the Grim. 5 chromatic cost, legendary creature. I love uncommon legendary creatures. Whenever another creature dies or a creature card is put into the graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature card leaves your graveyard, he deals 1 damage to each opponent. So basically, if ever things are put into the graveyard from the battlefield or from, I think it's from anywhere, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. That's basically how it works. I think some things it's only if it leaves your graveyard. So that's the only thing that's only on yours. If stuff leaves your graveyard, then you also do damage. But that's everything else is global. Then you can pay 2. Each person puts the top 2 cards of the library into the graveyard. We have a lot of creatures, so a lot of times this is just going to be a 2 mana shock. And if they have 2 creatures as well, it's a 2 mana 4 damage to their face, which is sweet, you know. So that is a really nice card. Every once in a while, that effect is really powerful. The biggest issue with this is that it's 5 mana. It's not great stats. It's not like a busted 5 mana card. It's only good if it sticks around for a turn, basically, which is the biggest issue of all 5 mana creatures, you know. But man, I just love Sir Conrad. It's so awesome. We have Athreos in here because kind of the same type of thing. I wanted to put as many effects that have things that come back to the battlefield that works with dice, triggers, everything like that. And this works great with dice triggers because whenever you get to put a coin counter onto things, this can be a creature that's just indestructible. We can still sack it if it is a creature, you know, with Woe Strider, things like that. But the great thing here is that whenever a creature with a coin counter on it dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. So it does let it die or get put into exile, and then it brings it back. So a little bit of insurance if we do go late game to have at least have things come back. If you have like a Luminous Broodmoth we're trying to get through with. And so the one of, I think, is easy to put into the stack. Again, if you don't have the wild cards for this, you don't need to run the Athreos. You can definitely run more of the early game stuff, or even just like a really good, like, honestly, this deck needs more 1s and 2-drops. A great 2-drop would be perfect. I'm trying to think of what a good 2-drop for this deck would be. There's a lot of them out there that would be pretty good in that slot. And then Liliana, I mean, whenever Kuchikino dies, draw a card. Perfect for what we're trying to do with this. Be able to sacrifice the opponent's stuff. I mean, it's Liliana. It's busted. It's really good. And it has more dice triggers, which is what we're going for. Is basically, this is the ultimate death wish. We want things to die on Arena. That is the goal with this deck. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. Up against Trigger Happy. Bring it on. And great 3-drops. Vindictive Vampire is the worst of the effect that we're going for, but hopefully Midnight Reaper will help us get into more stuff. So keep this up against Amori. So creature heavy stuff, it could not be creatures, it could be enchantment, especially in free play. You never know what we're going to run into, which makes it so much more fun. All right, get down Hunted Witness. 3rd mana is great. Double Midnight Reaper before this dies would be the bestest. Ooh, Cruel Celebrant. Okay then. Just in case they're like flashing something in, they could have a counterspell here. Okay, I'm thinking it's creatures. Pass the turn. And Amori like Demure Flash, because there's a lot of flash creatures that work well with this. That could be a thing actually. Okay, Midnight Reaper. Lots of value on the battlefield. The only bad side would be if they are playing a control deck. We've not seen anything yet, so it could be like Extinction Event. That would be bad. Amori, I'm not too terribly sad about that. Don't worry about it. That's totally fine. Vindictive Vampire or Midnight Reaper and Hunted Witness. Okay, Midnight Reaper number 2. All right, swing in here. I'm assuming they just let it through. They want to let us draw 2 cards. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'd love to find, yeah, okay. Sweet. I mean, we are taking damage. We're taking more than we're gaining from stuff right now, which is an issue. Ooh, Teysa? We will play our 1-drop, even if it shocks us. Pass the turn. We still have no clue what they're playing. Oh, it's sorceries. Yeah, so it's only sorcery. I forgot to even look at this beforehand. Extinction Event is going to be a thing. Teysa is definitely the best thing to, I think, pull right now. All right, if they want to get rid of our Athreos, that's fine. Board wipes are going to be a thing. Instant speed means that there's no counter spells, so we don't have to worry at all about counter spells. Interesting. Sorcery. I mean, Extinction Event could still come on this turn because Amori makes it cheaper. And on 3 would hurt us quite a bit. We'd keep Cruel Celebrant in this. Alrighty then. That's rude. And we're going to take a lot of damage with these Midnight Reapers. If we play Teysa. Connive. That's good in this format, I feel like. All right, so play the Swamp. Tokens gain lifelink and vigilance. Man, if they do have an Extinction Event, like guaranteed that's got to be a card in here. If it's board wipe stuff, I'm kind of okay with it. We can draw a ton of cards, but we also take a ton of damage. I think I could just go Vindictive Vampire here. If they want to block this again, I'm still fine drawing cards. We have a chance of actually getting in damage. I'm also okay with that. It's good. Was not expecting the connive. I'm not gonna say. I mean, I'm not expecting sorcery on Omori. I have no clue what this is gonna be. Just sorcery speed things. All right, and they get to play it. They can cast it as mana as well as any color. Intriguing. All right, Swamp, Woe Strider. How aggressive do we go? So we swing in, they block Midnight Reaper and let's see, like Hunted Witness. They could block the Vindictive Vampire, but then we get in for 6, 7, 8, or 7. I think that I'm fine with that. I could also draw into something better here. So let's go ahead and try to draw. I don't care to get in with the Hunted Witness. If we can find like a Bastion of Remembrance here, we have a lot of value. All right, put that to the bottom. All right, we're gonna attack in. All right, so they do get the Vindictive Vampire. That's fine. We're gonna sack here first. Get some value out of the Vindictive Vampire. We're gonna draw cards right now, so I don't think we want Woe Strider. I think we want to find something else. Sack this one. Yeah. Alright, they're gonna gain some life as well. That's cool, that's cool. Gain a bit, draw some stuff. Another Midnight Reaper. Well, Bastion of Remembrance is perfect here. And pass the turn. So this also counts for itself. So we do have 3 cards that we can draw immediately here. So I guess we scry while we can. There's no reason not to, right? What are they going to go down to? They won't have a counter spell. They're going to take 4 more. I think we keep this actually because of the direct damage that it can deal. I think that'll give us lethal. Because we can bring back Woe Strider. We're going to draw a few cards here too. So I mean, we still have a lot of options. I mean, that's a good one. That's a lot of lands. Okay, there we go. Opponent scoops it up, yeah. So yeah, Serrated Scorpion comes down, immediately does 3 points of damage with Woe Strider coming back as well. That's the game, so I like it. All right, up against Clever Convict. Yeah, perfect start. Keeping this. Please, oh please, give me white mana along with this, and nothing else die. Serrated Scorpion, Cruel Celebrant, Woe Strider, Luminous Broodmouth. I don't think there's like a more beautiful curve ever. That is just glorious. Then we get to go off with it. Off with the head. Ooh. All right. Up against a rampy type of deck. Typically a little bit less interaction in the early game, which is perfect for what we're trying to do. Honestly, that's one of the nice things about this deck is that we do pretty well against the more rampy style of decks with this, because if we can get, you know, that curve and kind of get everything out in the valley. Ooh. Team of Reclamation. Growth Spiral. We'll probably have some removal in this deck. For the lame sauce. Woo Strata. They're probably going to want to hold up Growth Spiral or... Okay, snap. Alright, I mean, that's a bummer. We don't have nearly as good of effect now. And they're going to have a good blocker. If we can get out the Broodmoth, that should be pretty sweet, though. So the cool thing about Nightmare Shepherd and Luminous Broodmoth is that this only brings back creatures that don't have flying, but it brings back the actual card. It actually brings it back. Nightmare Shepherd exiles it and creates a token. And so you can actually end up getting, you know, the copy back with Luminous Broodmoth, and then the Nightmare Shepherd brings back the copy after that. Oh, rats. Oh, wow. I think I swing in with the Woe Strider here. I could have Scryed to try to find the white mana, but black mana was fine as well. I'm totally fine with this play. Yeah, so they have to take the damage, otherwise they lose Bonecrusher Giant. This just comes back and we get the effect that we want out of it. Edgewell Innkeeper. Okay, so this is... So bounce is something that we have to worry about, but not for this turn. I get to draw cards. That's cool. That's cool. All right, let's go ahead and get a Scry here. Broodmoth. Broodmoth is pretty sweet. All right, we'll take that. Keep it. Pass to my turn. All right, next, swing in here, bring him down to 8. Swing in here. That really doesn't matter, does it? So swing in. We have 6 damage with this guy on board. So pass the turn. There's no reason to get too hasty here. But this is exactly what we want. And we get to scry a few times. They just shock themselves? Ooh. We do have lethal now. They could bounce Luminous Broodmoth in response to something, which could be annoying. But they have to bounce both for it to be effective, and we can just bring them back and swing in. So I don't think that we try to go for the win here. We have it in the air, so just pass to my turn. Do it in response. So let's go ahead and get out Cruel Celebrant. I'm just trying to give him as many times to try to go for a response, because then we can hit our response and all of a sudden win. They have to deal with Flyers swinging in through there. They have to deal with the Serrated Scorpion dealing 6 points of damage, right? Brazen Borrower goes for that. We have 3 in the air. They can flash in the Brazen Borrower as well. All right, sack Serrated Scorpion. Decline with this first one. Land to the bottom. Sack it again. Down to 2. Take action this time. And there we go. Okay, so we got him. Dude, all right, the deck took on Teamer Adventures. If we get that curve, man, this deck is just, oh, it's beautiful. Love it. All right, we're up against Hobo Express. Bring on Hobo Express. Yeah, this is great. Keep this basically anytime that we have 2 drops and 3 drops and the mana to get to them, we're going to take it, especially being on the play. This is a beautiful hand. I dig it. I dig it greatly. Now we just hope for a good opponent. I am playing in free play kind of just to get started with this. If I'm really feeling good about the deck, I'll jump into more competitive play. But every once in a while, it's nice to just kind of start at a lower level and keep going. Man, if this is Flyers and they fly over the top before we get to kill anything, that'll actually be pretty not good. Okay, we're going to go Bastion of Remembrance. I'm not getting out the Woe Strider until I have more of these effects. Pass the turn. Vindictive Vampire. Dude, this is so many effects. If we get all of these down, anything that dies deals 5 damage and we gain 5 life. That's a lot. But we also need to make sure that we can live through all the craziness that's going on right now. So do I go for another Cruel Celebrant, try to get even more value out of this, make them, or do I go for the Roast Rider? I think I'm going to go for the Cruel Celebrant and swing in here. They want to trade off. They can block with Healer's Hawk. They can block Skycat Sovereign for free. Yeah, so I'm just guessing they're going to let it through because, I mean, it's way more damage to block it here. And giving us life gain is not great for them. Loyal Pegasus, I mean, they're going off. That ain't great. Down to 9. We need to start being able to actually gain some life through some of this. Nightmare Shepherd is good. So I can gain 6 life with this, with the goat and this one, and I could even sack a Cruel Celebrant. If I get out the Nightmare Shepherd on the next turn and somehow keep this Cruel Celebrants alive, I get pretty close to the lethal, being able to bring them back multiple times. So I think that we can do this. Swing in. I'm trying to think of like what would be better after that. Maybe like Serrated Scorpion or something like that. I don't even know. Yeah, they block. It's better to... We are going to sack for the Scry. I'd rather make sure that we're hitting good stuff. All right, so 3 damage, 3 life. We're still pretty close to dead. That goes to the bottom. So how much damage do they have? If they have a rally, we're like all sorts of dead. This is just way too much power. I mean, we can still gain quite a bit of life. So pass the turn. Another Eagle. It's not a rally, but they still have the mana to do it. Yay. I mean, this is a major issue with this deck too, is that I am just... we don't have like any interaction. We are just straight up trying to kill our stuff. Like that is what we came to do, and we're doing it. Serrated Scorpion is not bad. Is it better than Nightmare Shepherd? You're gonna gain 3 more life. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it on top. It's a decent play for the next turn. All right, how much damage are they doing? 6. So 10, 14. Okay, yeah, we're really close to being just straight up dead, huh? This is so much damage. If they have the rally, I mean, we're already dead. I think that I have to kill another one. Oh, yeah, I don't think that we have a way back from this now. I think to survive, we have to sack again. Sorry, I'm not doing my math perfectly, but we still didn't even have it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, if that deck goes uncontested, it's one of the most aggressive decks there is. Just especially, they didn't even have the rally, but it's good. Going again. All right, this is keepable. We can hopefully find black mana to get Serrated Scorpion out turn 1. But again, I'm fine going turn 2, turn 3 with this and trying to get up to the other things. I mean, I don't love that we have really expensive stuff in here, but we have good 2-drops. We have a lot of 3 and 4 drops that are value in the deck that we can hopefully find. More Fabled Passage. All right, pass the turn. Is it mono red? No. Is this token like Boros tokens aggro type of thing, or is it gonna be like a Luca type of deck again? Let's go Serrated Scorpion. Just play that past the turn. I don't want to get out Cruel Celebrant before there's a lot of potential damage here, or like removal. I mean, I'd rather this get removed and they get in than play out Cruel Celebrant now. Hojic. All right. Hagic. Dang. All right, no blocks. We'll take it this turn. That's pretty good. All right, Hunted Witness, perfect little blocker for us. Cruel Celebrant. No attacks past the turn. We can double block the Tajik and make them like basically take up their turn to keep it alive. And that might just be enough. We could also try to keep these guys alive and just go for the Vindictive Vampire into Conrad. See if we can survive through all this. We want creatures on the battlefield for when we have all of these kinds of creatures out there. It definitely helps out. All right, they didn't play anything. Sweet. And we drew land. I dig it. All right, grab Swamp. Vindictive Vampire. I mean, removal is really annoying, but the kind of removal this deck should have is an exile. Like, the issue is if they hit one of these guys, which it can be bad, but now that we have two of them out, should be butter. Lots of tokens. If we go Sir Conrad into... Oh no. Oh, very much not good. Alright. General's Enforcer. Things are indestructible. Another... That's not too big, though. That's fine. Haktos is more annoying. On 3, eh? So I can't block Haktos. But I can... we're going to put a focus more on killing the tokens here. We're taking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go to 5. They won't have any more tokens after this. Yep, that seems fine. Back up to 7. Woe Strider. Whoa, bro. That also blocks Haktos. Okay, past the turn. I mean, they still have a massive board, and there's probably things they can play that will have hasty tokens to swing in with here. Generals Enforcers can create tokens. Swings with everything. Okay. That's cool. Maybe they have like a chance for glory or something like that. I could see that being really good in this deck. All right, block there. Chomp. Chomp. Chomp, take 2. I mean, they could have, they can't have Embercleave. Embercleave isn't big enough right now. I'm trying to think of anything they can have. Maybe a way to give it... Yeah, I don't even know. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that enough? I'm not sure Sir Conrad actually gets us there. Maybe we can like bring back Woe Strider for the extra body. All right, so we get to gain a lot of life, which is sweet. I mean, they dealt, what, 1 point of damage to us? Yay. Or 2 points. We gain life with the token as well. All right. 16 to 18. I mean, okay. Plazatep Reaver. Some more Winota stuff going on. All right, so Woe Strider comes out. We have 8 points of damage on the battlefield if they swing in. As long as we can survive the attack, Woe Strider gives us the win, right? That's the way I'm seeing it. I could also play Sir Conrad, which means if their stuff goes to the graveyard as well, we do have to survive the attack for all these triggers to actually take effect. Does it stay indestructible, or does it just indestructible until end of turn? Why is this one still indestructible? Oh, because the General's Enforcer. Right. This gives us the most blockers. I think it's definitely the best play. I mean, Sir Conrad gives us a bit more damage overall, and it could end up... Yeah. Being at 16, I feel pretty safe. They are going to get 2 more creatures in. If they have another Raise the Alarm, that would be busted. All right, pass the turn. Yeah, pass the turn. Oh my gosh. Wow. Dude, they had 3 Raise the Alarms. And the Winota and a Tajik. And a Judith? A toe? A foe? Okay. I mean, if they kill us on this swing before we get to do anything else. Alright. Another Tajik, that's fine. Yeah, keep getting duplicates. I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. Something dies, Judith kills thing. Oh, what? I forgot about that. That's good. Yeah, okay, get the kill Celebrant again. I mean, I guess we'll try and scry with it. Why not? Now I don't think we can deal enough damage. Serrated Scorpion. Oh man, that was rough. Yeah, they just had it all. This was a busted draw. They're both on 3. Crazy. One of the most busted draws like ever. I'm just intrigued by how much damage this is. They get to do 2 more damage to face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, plus 7, 15, 18. We can block. So I do think that we had enough to block it all. They just had way too many things in hand. I mean, that was one of the most busted draws I've ever seen for that deck. See, that's my luck, is like I feel like I will get my best hand against someone else's even better best hand, and then whenever someone has a pretty dirtily hand or something like that, I draw all lands or no lands, and it's just frustrating sometimes. All right, up against Super Crespo, bringing on Crespo. Got turn 1 here. I don't want to go for the straight square, but I guess we can go both these guys turn 2. That wouldn't be a bad play. We let ourselves try to draw more lands if we played the planes first, but I also would rather just get this cracked and done with. So we can hit this on turn 3 if we do find land. So I think that we're just going to throw out the Fabled Passage. All right, Fabled Passage. Should wait to not give him as much information, but meh. I just need my Godzilla lands out now. Dude, they look so sweet, by the way. Love it. Flourishing Fox. You don't say. Another Fabled Passage. I guess I could have also gone for that to try to get the Woe Strider out, but like really, I'm fine maybe waiting a turn or 2 and getting to the Teysa Karlov. The Teysa? I would love to see a commander deck that just has all of, you know, this type of effect. You know, whenever things die, because I think that I know there's a lot of bad versions of it printed out in the existence. I would love to see a commander deck that has just like 25 to 30, you know, of that effect in some sort, all on one deck. I need to build that. That sounds really fun. I think it has to be Abzan. I'm not sure if there's anything else. I mean, I'm sure Red has some stuff too. Anyway, that'd be fun. That'd be a fun deck. 2 Flourishing Foxes. Foxen. Going wide. If they swing in, we could double block of the Fox. Yeah, I'd definitely do that. That slows the game down quite a bit. Are they really thinking about swinging in? Don't do it. I mean, do it, but don't. No, that's just dumb. Okay, field passage. Pass the turn. I would like to get Teysa out before any of these guys die. I mean, all of a sudden this is 4 damage. 4 damage, that's 8. It's 2 tokens. We could go wider on this. If they ever start swinging in, we get to swing back. And the life gain is relevant. Zenith Flare, you know, being able to hit, you know, 1 at 8 damage and then cycle a couple things, get it again for, you know, 10 or 12 damage is a lot easier than trying to get up to, you know, trying to get it up to 25 or 26 or anything like that. So if we can be gaining life along the way here and keeping them from actually getting in with the Flourishing Fox, helps a lot. So they're probably guessing, and this is the hardest part with cycling deck. I've actually not even run the cycling deck too much, but I mean, like, which creature, what things do you actually play out versus which things do you try to just cycle away? I mean, we have a pretty strong start that's going to make it hard for them to decide, I'm assuming. They're also just passing the turn and doing nothing. So, I mean, that's cool. I think we're going to grab Swamp. I think we have more black mana things in our deck. And opponent keeps up. All right, well, we had the Woe Strider. And we did have a pretty decent start, but I mean, that definitely wasn't a game-ending start there. But hey, we will take the win when we can get it. I want to do fun things, though. It's time to do fun things. Up against Checho. Bring it on, Checho. Okay, keep this. Yeah, this is a sweet hand. Only thing that would make this better is maybe another 1-drop for turn 2. We'll get out the Serrated Scorpion, pass the turn. It's the only black source, so if we did find another Serrated Scorpion, we wouldn't be able to play 2 of them. We can play another Hunted Witness. Swing in. So do I go for the Cruel Celebrant or for the Hunted Witness here is the question. I'd like to go for the curve. Try to get it to Midnight Reaper. Get some value on the board right now. There we go. There we go. All right, swing in. Down to 17, Midnight Reaper. Pass the turn. Is this not bans? Okay. 4-color rampness. I'm just going to mix the Bant and the Soul type. Kind of makes sense, actually. I don't think it's that difficult with this much ramp to hit all the colors that you need. It's just going to be a little bit more painful at times. All right, Extinction Event is, of course, the worst possible thing. We're going to play as though it's not going to happen. If they they typically are going to play more like Casualties of War type things, I believe, and maybe have like a couple. Shout out the skies, they do have it. Okay, odd. That is odd. I mean, that's the worst possible thing that could happen. And so I'm fine playing around as though it wouldn't. But that's fine. Uro. We do have our 2 most expensive cards stuck in our hand without hitting lands. Yeah, we're not hitting lands. If we had a land there, I probably would have just gone for the Castle Ardenvale almost instead. Well, I mean, it would have been great. Down to 15. If we can get Liliana out, we're in great shape. Liliana and Athreos, that is actually a pretty sweet combo. Yarok. All right, swing, swing. From the tail side of my heart. Please, oh please, give me a land. That's a tap land. I'll take it. Give me another land. Ooh, Woe Strider. There is a chance that we still have things die and draw more cards. I want Woe Strider and a land. Woe Strider is really good. It helps us a lot. I'm going to go ahead and keep it. If they swing in here, we may even just block with the Cruel Celebrant. That's kind of awkward. Eerie Ultimatum. Return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ooh. That's a lot of things. And the Yarok. Alrighty then. Okie That's really cool. I've actually legitimately think this is awesome. The issue here is that we're not getting in for a lot of life total change here. I don't quite have enough to actually triple block and kill it. Drawing a card here could get us to Liliana, which is really nice. Be able to kill both Cavalier Thorns. What do they bring back? Lots of great stuff. So it doesn't matter a ton, but it would slow the game down maybe a smidge. I think we take it. I could throw this in front of. I mean, I'm not in a hurry necessarily to end the game right now. I mean, we're probably going to be dead before long. I'm sure they have some way to stop the mill plan from taking over. We'll see. All right, pass turn. Each opponent puts the top 10 cards of their library into the graveyard. Alrighty then. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, triggers twice, so that's 20 cards milled. I forgot that was a thing. Do you have enough to play another one? They have a lot of mana. It's very, very possible. They could also have Thassa Blink here. Any kind of blink effect. Earl comes back.
More data will be needed.
That can help him dig for the Thassa as well. I'm okay with this. This is like, if we're gonna lose, I want it to be glorious. And this is pretty glorious right now. I haven't seen Yarok played in a while, especially in a deck that's fun like this. Swings in with the Yarok. Block. I mean, I guess we just do the chump block thing. I could throw two guys in front of that and they both die. So block like that, we're gonna go ahead and scry, right? Might as well. Teysa. It's not a land, but that's also pretty fun. But not good enough. We have to hit the land, I think. Liliana, I think, is better. Alright, we get the scry. Oh, I didn't trigger him the right way. We draw a card first. That's a tapped land. It's not good enough. Alright, pass. How many cards are left? Oh man, dang it. No land still. Ooh. Rats. I mean, they're not technically killing us. And even though they're gaining lots of life with all their big stuff, like, we also can go off with this deck before long if we get to survive a couple more turns. I just kind of highly doubt that that's actually going to be a thing. Yeah, there we go. Thassa, good game. All right, we're gonna let them play it out because this is just too fun. All right, so the plan here. Oh, and they have another one. All right. So I mean, yeah, technically would have gone down just to 3, but all right. Oh, that's fun. That's so fun. We're gonna draw our cards out. No, let me draw. No way, man. No way. We want to draw those cards. I guess we let them mill us and then we draw the last one. Ooh, now we got Broodmoth. All right, resolve. It comes back. Yep, resolve, mills them over. And now we'll draw. Good game. this way we don't have to wait until this end step. They could also swing in and probably kill us here just fine. But like they have to win by milling me out. All right, I'm not gonna go out some lame way. If I'm gonna die, it's gonna be being milled, and that is my favorite way to lose. Oh, I love it. All right, so there you guys have it with the Death Wish, and I love this deck, and it's honestly really, really fun. There's definitely like some one-ups and things like that that I could take out to make it a lot better. Like Athreos never really felt strong. I think there's a lot better like 1 or 2 drop in here. I'm trying to think of what it would be that you go for in the 1 or 2 drop slot. Prideweight honestly wouldn't be terrible. I don't think that's what it is. It could be Fiend Artisan, because you do sacrifice stuff, you get to bring things out. If you're looking for more like Cruel Celebrants, it could be pretty nice. So Fiend Artisan wouldn't be bad. Even just like creating tokens, like Raise the Alarm, something like that could be pretty powerful as well. You could even splash green for like March of Multitudes, and that could be like a game-ending play sometimes as well. I'm not sure if that's what you want to go for though, so much the game-ending play. You want to have just a good, like, Raise the Alarm works pretty well because it's just two good blockers, which is sweet. You know, that's just a really nice thing to have. So yeah, I think that anything that creates a lot of tokens is nice. In black, I mean, you could always go the Cat Oven type of that way, but I wouldn't do that because it's lame. Valmire Knight's not bad. Get a little more card draw. I don't know. Yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think would make this deck actually like work well, where you're trying to keep a lot of different effects in here, where we're going all in on the Aristocrats plan. Again, like I know that there's other Aristocrats decks out there that are already really, really powerful. This is about trying to make sure that we are getting like 20 points of damage dealt this way, basically, as much as we can. And we did get to do it pretty often. Some people skipped a little bit early, but that's how it goes. Anyway, I like the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.